After damaging earthquakes, America's disaster just got worse. This isn't just a one-off slide. This land is still shifting. New movement along California's coast is getting so bad that officials are now scheduling an emergency city council meeting on October 21st, 2025. And it's not just happening in California. Something strange is happening at Mount Rainier.
I watched a very disturbing documentary last night on the Cascade Mountain Range. And this documentary was talking about how Mount Rainier had all this seismic activity, hundreds and hundreds of these like minuscule earthquakes, but it was right underneath the mountain. Now they're saying that all the way down to Mammoth Lake, there's been activity.
Then locals start reporting that something was happening beneath them in Washington.
I noticed that the ground was shaking. Is there activity in the lava tubes of Mount Rainier?
And now the Bison are showing this strange new behavior that is forewarning us of a major earth shift across the United States.
Woohoo, they're gonna run right by me.
And now, October 16, 2025, the Missouri government issues a New Madrid earthquake preparedness warning. And at the same time, something is coming through our atmosphere, just like the New Madrid earthquake in 1811. Now it's time for us to look deeper into all these earth changes and strange shifts so that we can find out what's happening before the next earth disaster.
If all those glaciers up there melt when it explodes, we are absolutely getting destroyed by the lahar flows. I think even the concrete of these will protect us when the glaciers on top of Rainier melt after it explodes, washing. Yeah, probably.
Yeah, I said it. I'll say it. Blow up.
That right there is what people are feeling near Mount Rainier. Frustration, fear, a strange sense that something is changing beneath the surface of the earth. And just as that's happening, next, somebody who was at a base camp in Mount Rainier who watches the area saw this. Locals also have reported in to me here on the channel that rocks have been falling off in the area that's been unreported. But by far, what this man said is the biggest warning sign that we've heard thus far.
Last night at about 3:45, 3:30 in the morning, I woke up and I noticed that the ground was shaking in the Cascade. We're up by Roslyn area, Ellensburg area, and we felt it move. We keep hearing rumbles at night, and we feel the ground moving beneath us and rumbling, vibrations. And we're getting really weird smells coming out of the mountains, like sulfur, like rotten eggs. But is Mount Rainier becoming active?
And since that's just happened, I have to show you all something right here. Look on screen. This simulation shows where the lahars and the mud flow will actually come out at. That would happen before an eruption. The melting has already begun. That's been confirmed by climatologists. Look on here. All the red areas and all the yellowish is where the mud flow and the lahars would be at. That would stop highways from being active. It would be a scenario that you want to map out a game plan. But the picture just got much bigger than that. You won't hear this anywhere else. So Mount Rainier rumbling, California uplifting, literally coming out of the sea, and then a meeting so that they can turn roads to toll roads. And why? Because earthquakes shifted the land that bad. And across America, this could become a new norm because the Bison are now moving because something has shifted across the United States. There's only one reason the Bison would be moving like that. Let's give you the scientific explanation. Now, bison change their migration patterns in response to environmental dangers like habitat loss, climate change, human created obstacles, unlike classic predator dynamics. All right, the earth is shifting. Let me get serious though. But unlike short term reactions, these modern threats face long lasting shifts in bison behavior. Some people like, that's it, folks. The bison done spoke. Or they probably sense this happening from deep below the surface. Here's where it gets eerie. The quietest zone where nobody hardly even tells you anything has had multiple earthquakes. People have reported it to me. And just as that happened, October 16th, 2025, they have released preparedness safety measure insurance guidance for residents in Missouri. This is by the New Madrid fault. But why issue that now?
Rare green glowing comet is going to make its closest approach to the Earth.
During the original New Madrid earthquake, a brilliant comet called Texuma was visible for months. Historians said it marked one of the worst natural disasters in history. Fast forward to October 21, 2025, another comet is coming that disappears after 1,000 years. Look right here. It's called C2025A6 Lemon. It will make its closest approach to Earth right as officials hold emergency meeting about the land movement in California. I'm not saying that the comet causes earthquakes, but the timing, identical month, identical alignment, identical warning tones from officials. Wait, I got a little bit more Quakers oats to sprinkle on top of this. Okay, the comet of 1811, it said it was there for about 260 days visible. Let's find out how long this one is going to be visible. Okay, so if you look at this comet that's coming in October to, okay, it says it's going to be visible for about like 2 to 3 weeks. That means 21 days. So not visible as long as the other one, but it disappears after 1,000 years and you don't see it again. Something big has to be happening because what I saw just the other day. For households, they're preparing for utility disaster training, which they have already carried out. So if they believe they need to do that just recently, the question is, okay, so we think the lights are going to go out either because a earthquake disaster or something's interacting from these objects coming into our atmosphere. People were reporting their vehicles having strange signals and stuff happening, just radio interference and stuff like that. Have you had anything like that happen over the last couple of weeks? And ever since the earthquake started happening, we've seen all these different sky anomalies happening. And then the activity just started to peak big time on the West Coast.
Like minuscule earthquakes, but it was right underneath the mountain. Now they're saying that all the way down to Mammoth Lake, there's been activity. There's been activity at Mammoth Lake. There's been activity at Mount Lassen. There's been activity at the Three Sisters, Mount Adams, Mount Hood. Mount Hood is emitting carbon dioxide, and they're not even telling us. Mount St. Helens is the mountain is moving again. You know how it was moving and then the whole side fell off?
So both coasts are showing signs of stress. We have a Atlantic rupture on the East Coast. We also have new ruptures by Vancouver Island. And if the New Madrid fault is reawakening, the ground beneath America could be sinking into one pressurized, huge cycle. And notice something. Every emergency message lately focused on preparedness. Now they're talking about insurance, communication, cash, backup plans. None of this is coincidence. This pattern recognition. When we study pattern recognition, we hit the 80-year cycle. 2025 now, 2026, they have a disaster continuity operation. And not just that. Emergency official documents from the Pacific operations with the military from Iwakuni base, military families have 30 minutes to get their feet off the ground. That's what we received. That's what we know. So that tells you the time limit you're going to have in whatever the coming emergency quake disaster crisis is going to be ample. But guess what the new warning system is? It's you. It's me. It's every person in the comment section, whoever watched this video, and we're going to dive deeper to give you as much information as possible. You need to stay here because there is another piece to this story that is just as critical as what we just mentioned today. If you're looking for 20 feet office disaster shelters or just regular places you'd like to have on your property, look in the comment section below. Check the link out. But you made it this far. So why let them hide this from you when this is the biggest piece to the story that really escalates your survivability, and they don't want you to see it? Go and watch it right away.